Good morning, folks. It's DJ Wonder Chrissy here, back at Migrant Mayhem. Land Cruiser Midwest, like, share, and subscribe. We got a good song, new song here playing. It's called Twilight Train to Chicago, or Twilight Train, no matter, but we'll say it's Twilight Train to Chicago. That's where all the money is at. It's flowing. Got a quick update for you. We're going to talk about what's going on in 2024. Got the crystal ball over here. Maybe we'll bring that out and look ahead into 2024. It is the new year. Yeah, the new year is upon us. The new year is upon us, so is some more of those migrants. We're going to be talking about that, so join us. Join us here at Migrant Mayhem. If you could, please, let's let some of the folks into the chat room. Come on in, folks. It's January 4th, 2024. We're going to get started here real soon. And gave away one of my pieces of silver yesterday. Maybe we'll talk about that, but I got another one here. Got another one. The music's over, it appears. It's over. So let's get on with the show. And no, it's starting over again. Let's stop that. There you guys go. We stopped the music. Okay, let's get going. Let's get going with the show. So, let's see here. Let me set up our first video for you guys. We were out by the train last night, and no sign of migrants. No sign of migrants by the train. So, although I did hear another town close by had to shoo some away. So let's, that was Palatine. WGN was reporting that Palatine had a bus sometime yesterday, and the police, yes, the police of the Palatine, the village of Palatine, shoot them away. So, as I said, we were down by the tracks last night for dinner at an establishment that we like, and didn't see any. It was all quiet there. No buses, no people. The metro station was quiet. But that doesn't mean that today's a new day. Every day's a new day in the migrant world. So there you go. So let's show this clip. They're working on a new intake tent. Right now they have buses downtown at the Des Plaines and another street. Down by UIC, University of Illinois, Chicago, college campus down there. That's where the incoming come from. And they're in the process of replacing those buses that they have stationed there as warming centers with one of those handy dandy FEMA tents. So let's listen to that video, and here we go.
And Liz, a new migrant intake center will soon stand alongside this bus landing zone here in the South Loop. Organizers tell me they've been inundated with new arrivals the past 2 weeks. So much so, we witnessed dozens of migrants showing up here tonight on foot. Wearing very little winter clothing, families of asylum seekers carrying young children in arms arrived at Chicago's migrant landing zone.
There's the landing zone, and there's the warming buses to the right there.
On Wednesday night, they took the metro train in from the suburbs.
And there's the new fashion. The Red Cross blanket is the new fashionable winter wear for Chicago, I'm being told. That there's a demand for those blankets on eBay and Amazon, and people are now there's just normal high school kids are walking around with Red Cross blankets instead of jackets in the suburbs is what I'm being told.
New Life Center's volunteers tell me part of what the state calls a holiday uptick.
It's been a lot. I want to say over 1,000, 2,000, a lot more. So we got hit hard on New Year's Eve.
Construction is now underway to build a new state intake center next to the city's bus landing zone to meet the growing need. It will have 6 heated tents and more staff to provide the new arrivals with wraparound services to help them along their journey.
It's going to help alleviate some of that pressure that the city shelters are facing. With these tents, we're going to be able to take that time, that extra step, to really focus on what their needs are.
This as buses from Texas are increasingly being sent to suburbs outside of Chicago, often without any coordination.
I'm sure Texas is experiencing a lot of it to a bigger extent than we are at the border. But I think when they're sending them directly to Chicago rather than all the other states in between Texas and Illinois, it says it's a political attack.
Governor J.B. Pritzker saying,
this coming from an alderman in the city of Chicago, he should be well aware of political attacks. He should be used to them. Political attacks in the state of Illinois. Oh God, makes me laugh. I mean, the hypocrisy of these people just does not amaze me at all. These guys are just so. Oh my gosh! This is like a comedians could write many skits from this stuff. Where's Saturday Night Live when you need them?
In a statement, in part, quote, "We will continue to ensure that they are met with dignity and compassion."
Now, here's our governor, whose cousin, Tom Pritzker, was named in the newly released records of that guy who died in New York federal jail a few years ago, and people keep questioning whether or not he really killed himself or not. But that's just a side note that you may want to noodle around your head. That Tom, his cousin, the head of the Hyatts, was mentioned in the newly released records, folks.
While we call for increased coordination and funding from the federal government to provide a federal solution to this federal challenge. Meanwhile, work continues this week on a 220-person shelter located in Little Village at this former CVS site, set to open later this month.
So there you go. I didn't realize there were so many tents being erected in Chicago. They're just going up like mushrooms and tents galore. So that's going to be, those will come in handy during the summer, right? Maybe we can rent them out to tourists. If you wanted to live like a migrant for a couple of days, we'll put you up in a FEMA tent, and yeah, maybe $100. I was just talking to someone. I have a friend who's headed to Florida to do some camping, some boondocking, and he said that, I mean, one, it's hard to even get a camping space in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. And he says they're now called luxury RV parks. They don't call them campgrounds anymore. So he's looking at some luxury RV parks, and he says some of the spaces they have go for $200 a day for like these large RVs and stuff. And he's just got a small little boondocking camper or trailer, and he says, yeah, you can pay up to $200 a day in Florida for a camping space. So maybe that's what the state of Illinois needs to do. They need to offer some nights in the tents for families that want to experience the migrant. Call it the migrant experience. Okay, so that's what I have for you today on the migrants. So now let's what else we got here? Let me get you guys something here. Here's I mean, there you go. The place here is open. I got a hankering in the new year for some hot wings. I'll tell you, you know where I'm going. I was over there. I was over by Schaumburg yesterday, as I mentioned earlier in this video, and I have a dentist over there, so I had my regularly scheduled checkup to do, and they're in a beautiful building on the edge of Woodfield, which is a huge Class A mall, like probably 2 million square feet. It's a huge mall. And this person that I was visiting there said that this office building that they were in, it's been there forever. Used to be a bank, and they took over this space about a year ago. But it's like a 4 or 5 story building right on the edge of Woodfield. She says it's empty. It's empty, and it's a stone's throw from Schaumburg Center, which also had the keys turned in, and Schaumburg Towers, which also had its keys turned in. Both top-notch buildings, beautiful buildings. But as I review, I've been looking at some of these. I've seen news articles in the Chicago area about commercial office buildings. There was some down in Lisle, Illinois, called the Arboretum. There's like 4 different buildings there that went under. They returned the keys to the financer, and there's just a whole host of, I can think of, off the top of my head, I can probably state or list 20 to 25 buildings in the last 9 months that have gone under and were returned back to the financer. And I also went by a couple of places yesterday in Schaumburg where they were tearing down buildings. One was Arthur Gallagher, the big insurance conglomerate over in Rolling Meadows. They moved their headquarters to Rolling Meadows. They bought like all the buildings in that area, and they decided to tear one of them down for some reason, I guess. Their prerogative. They think they paid like $10 million for this building, and they're in the process of tearing it down. There was another office park right on Algonquin Road where there was this huge office condo building. It's been there since the 80s, and they just finally tore it all down, and I'm hearing they're going to put in an Amazon warehouse right there. So warehouses are popping up in suburbia now, so it's just not for the rural areas anymore. So there you go. And these buildings being sent back to, I did some videos if you want to check those out about commercial backed mortgage securities and how as these people that own these huge office buildings, as they need to get refinancing and the values of values of these properties drop, and they can't get refinancing, they're turning the keys back into the bank or the financer, and depending on who owns those notes or who carries those notes, whether it's the bank or some other bank that purchased them, we're going to see some more bank failures in 2024. That's one of my predictions for 2024. And I did a video just like about a week ago about one of the banks, or actually there's seven banks in Texas to watch out for that were very, very rated negative E, I think, on the weissratings.com, WEISS ratings.com. Worth checking your bank to make sure you're not banking with someone who's got some issues. And you may not even know it. You may not even know it that your bank is holding a lot of these notes, and their numbers aren't being these numbers are being reported to the public, but the public just doesn't know how to interpret them. So this website, this free website called weissratings.com, consolidates all that data and gives a each bank and credit union are rating on a quarterly basis, so you can see where your bank sits among all the rest. And there's like, seven to 800 banks that are having issues, and probably 600 credit unions that like rightfully so also are having some issues. So check that out, Weiss, WEISS ratings.com. Highly endorsed by DJ Wonder Chrissy. There you go. Okay, so some more. Get the crystal ball. We had this out a couple days ago. Look at that. Look at, as the world of crystal ball turns, what do we see? Okay, one of the things that I see is, there's a debate on how many people live paycheck to paycheck. Okay, so it runs from 60% to 80%. People say are living paycheck to paycheck. So pick a number within 60 to 80% and go with your number. What I see, though, is bad news for some of these people, because they're living paycheck to paycheck, and a lot of these people are going to be losing their jobs. Okay, or they're going to get their hours reduced, or there's going to be some negative things going on in the employment industry, and a lot of these people that are living paycheck to paycheck are going to see their paychecks disappear. Okay, another reason why you should be stocking lots of things, folks. You know that I advocate stocking. Let me put this away. Got our value out of that. You need to be stocking some of this. Okay, you need to be stocking some of this. You need to get that emergency fund established, so if that paycheck does go away, you have something. So you need to be stocking some of this. You need to be stocking some food and water and some security. You need to be preparing, okay? We don't know when the proverbial stuff will hit the fan, but it can happen anytime. Realistically, it can happen anytime, and I want you guys to be prepared, okay? And I'm telling you this because I'm doing it. I've been stocking up. I've been preparing. I have firewood. Got like a quart of firewood outside. I've got a generator. I've got probably 15 gallons of gas. I've got extension cords. I got 6 months worth of canned goods. I got water. I got a pile of water in my basement. We're prepared. Are we finished preparing? No, you're never finished preparing, because you're always using your canned goods. You need to replenish them. So you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared. It's not just for, the things that may be happening from governmental issues, but natural disasters. It helps with natural disasters, weather events. Talk to people from Florida and Texas that live on the coast. They are always prepared. And if you're not, you're SOL when something comes along like a hurricane. And I'm here to tell you, it's a effort is a wise thing to do when it comes to being prepared, and people are just too lazy to do it. That's the truth of the matter. All right, so I think I'm almost done. I'm getting caught short here today. We're almost at 20 minutes, so I want to thank you guys for viewing. Check out our new videos. Got a car video I put out. Maybe I'll put another short out today. Check out our shorts. We got a lot of short videos out there. We got a lot of long format. A lot of cool stuff on our channel. It's not just about migrants, but we do keep you guys updated about the migrants. And if they sent some to Palatine, who knows where they're coming next? They may be coming and knocking on your door. Hey, migrant man, let me in. There you go. DJ Wonder Chrissy over and out. Thanks for listening. Catch you guys on the other side.